Child development has become a huge part of my life now, and these are 3 things that I can almost guarantee will slow down your child's development from doing so much research and seeing it so much. Let me give you the 3 things so you never have to do them, and you'll know exactly why your child either isn't developing as fast as you want them to, or just isn't developing in general. Also, I'm a part of Physical Therapy Clinic in LA. Okay, let's get straight into it. First and foremost, the worst thing that you could do for your baby, not the worst, but the first of the 3 things that are terrible for your baby are baby walkers or constrictive baby devices that you see pretty much advertised everywhere, and I don't know why they're advertised so much because they stink, they're not good for your baby, and they have so many negative benefits about them. Okay, first of all, they could help develop plagiocephaly or torticollis. Okay, another thing is that they're also terrible safety hazards. Your kid is not able to walk yet. He has no idea about any awareness, especially with the baby walker, making that like a million times worse. He's gonna be running at full speed into walls, and even worse, going downstairs with the baby walker. The amount of times we see babies in hospitals, and even some babies dying every single year because of these baby walkers and because of babies falling downstairs, running into stuff, and just so many hazards, so many dangerous things that happen because of these baby walkers, and they're so bad for your kid. Another big problem with them is that they're constrictive on their whole body, so they don't have to rely on their legs, on their muscles, and they're gonna be moving weird ways that they wouldn't have normally moved. Meaning that one, they're gonna develop weird types of habits like toe walking and other things, and will just screw them up later in life, especially when they start really walking. But if you do want some type of thing that could get your kid walking places without having that, the stress of them having to actually walk, or maybe they're just actually not able to walk yet, a great thing to do is just having the baby walker, something they would lean onto, not a baby thing that's constrictive around them, something they would lean onto with just their hands, not around their waist or their body, or completely holding them in and having them walking on that. Okay, let's get on to step number 2. I hope you guys realize how bad that one is, and you guys won't do it anymore. Let's get on to the second worst thing for your kid. Okay, number 2 is a little bit similar to the last one. I kind of mentioned it a little bit, but it's constrictive devices and car seats. Okay, obviously you can't stop using car seats for your kid, but you can start using it as little as you possibly can, meaning always keeping it aware in your head to try to take your kid places as least as possible, especially in the car, because these constricted devices or car seats, they develop the most plagiocephaly and torticollis out of literally anything else, because they're literally constricted against something. This is terrible for getting that movement and understanding how stuff works. Okay, so that is one huge downside of them. A second downside is that they're going to be pushed against, constricted against, to a car seat, which is probably going to develop plagiocephaly or torticollis, because they're either going to be leaning on one side more than the other, and then once that gets started, they're just going to keep leaning on that side, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, and then they're just going to develop into fully fledged plagiocephaly or torticollis. And the plagiocephaly, which means flathead syndrome, is going to come from them leaning and being stuck against the chair that's literally pushing them back into the chair or on one side of the chair, and they're going to develop a really bad plagiocephaly if they're left in there consecutively for too long. And there's so many more reasons, but I'm not going to go through them today because I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. Alright, let's get into number 3, another really bad thing, and probably the worst out of all these 3. Hopefully you guys understand how bad those things are and you're not doing them as well. And let's get into the third one. Kabam. The third thing that you guys aren't doing and is just so bad for your kid and is literally putting their child development in the drain is not praising them every single time they do something good, and also not praising them every single time they do something bad. I'm going to break down exactly how to make these praises, but also first why they're so important. Okay, why are these praises so important? Your child literally has no incentive to do any of the things you want them to do. Let's say you want them to take a step forward, or you want them to stand up, or you want them to do whatever you want them to do for child development, play a game of catch, go to a sports game, literally do anything. They have to have an incentive. And when you have no incentive, when you give no praise when they do it, they're gonna be like, oh shoot, why would I ever do this again? There's no good that comes out of it, especially when I don't like it. But if they do like it, and then they get the praise, then they put the praise aligned with the thing they just did, and they combine those 2 things together, and suddenly the thing they did becomes a good thing, and then it has a good association, and they're gonna like doing things that build child development. So it's literally the best thing you could do for your kid. And when you don't do that, it does the exact opposite. So let's say they don't get a praise, and let's say you want them to start walking and start standing up. They stand up, they get no praise, and then it was hard for them, and then why would they ever do it again if they got no praise? And especially when you force them and you get mad at them for not doing it, then why the heck would they ever do it again? And the same thing goes when they don't do it right. Let's say they weren't able to stand up, and they really tried, and it was actually hard for them. And if you don't praise them, they're gonna be like, shoot, why would I try again? Because it's not about doing it right, it's about trying. They say, hey, I put effort, I got nothing back, why would I do it again? You want them to think, hey, I put effort and I got something back and that was actually good. I like putting effort now. And now every time they put effort, they're going to enjoy doing it and they're going to put a good association with child development, and you're literally going to put child development on autopilot because they're going to enjoy doing those things. The important thing is to constantly be reassuring them and keep praising them as it goes on, and you can never do enough praising, just keep that in mind. Just don't make it too like sarcastic. It has to still be genuine. Okay, let's go through how to praise. One is by testing. Figure out something they like. You could literally just test this by doing child development stuff, praising them, and see which praise they enjoy more by either how much they're smiling or asking them about feedback. Hey, how'd you like that? Or just telling if they actually enjoy doing the exercise more because they got that praise. So that's the first thing to do is test, right? You're gonna test which one helps the most with them. And then with that information, you're gonna be like, okay, and you're gonna keep going up the ladder, keep testing new things. Okay, this type of praise works best for my child, and it's good to always be redoing your praises because they're gonna change as they grow up. Remember that. You're not gonna be able to do the same praise when they're 1 year old as when they're 10 years old. So keep that in mind. You have to constantly be redoing your praises, and so that's the first way to praise, is by testing. The second way to praise is literally just going through a simple framework that they have. This is it. It's very simple. I try to make it as simple as I can. You say, hey, what did they do good? And it's all about effort, right? They always, as long as they tried, they always put in that effort. And you want to praise their effort, not their actual thing. But if they did the thing, then you can combine the two things. And also when they didn't accomplish a thing, you could still mention the thing that they partly accomplished. Say like, hey, you got 50% done. Most kids don't even get that. You're doing great, or whatever it is. Obviously, if he's on a lower level, like he's a younger kid, like if he's a really young kid, then you can just use voices and happy faces. That's like your encouragement because they don't understand words yet. But once they get a little bit older, you can use simple words. And as they get older than that, you could use more complex words and just try to make them understand it more and more. But it's all about testing, figuring out, and using just simple knowledge about figuring out which type of praise works best for your kids. I hope you guys found this helpful. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one of these 3 things that you should never be doing was your favorite. And I hope you guys really use these things and take these to heart because they are big things that you guys could be doing and could really change your child development trajectory for like old time and really help you guys out. Alright, there's gonna be more of these coming, so keep posted.